Good morning, Flosstube. I am Danielle, and this is my channel, Love and Stitchin'. This is a channel about cross stitch, and I appreciate you stopping by today. If you are new to my channel, today is a little bit different of a format. I'm going to call this a special edition Flosstube, and this is my second annual cross stitch ornament parade. So this time last year, as I was unboxing all of my Christmas items, I decided to pull out all of my cross stitch ornaments and share those with you. So that is Flosstube 13, I think. If I can link it below, I will if you are interested in watching that one. And so that was the video of all of my cross stitch ornaments that I've made over the last 20-ish years of stitching. And so this year I decided I would share all of the ornaments that I've been stitching over this year, because I started the year off, my January 1st start was an ornament, and I have just been continuing to stitch ornaments all throughout the year, either as gifts or as ornaments for my kids or my husband or for my trees. And I did say trees plural. So when I first started, even just 3 years ago, my ornament tree, my cross stitch ornament tree was I would say 2.5 foot, maybe 3 foot tree. And if I can, I'm gonna insert a picture here of what that tree looked like just 3 years ago. And if I can find some other ones over the past few years, then I will show those as well. But it did not start with, and I haven't, even though I've been stitching for 20 years, I really didn't really start stitching a lot of ornaments until the past 3 years. So it has grown into, I've got one main tree that is about 4.5 feet, and I did most of my ornaments on that last year. I've got a white ruffled tree that I think I'm gonna do a winter theme on. Actually, that one's gonna be my Housewives tree, I think, and it's probably 3.5 feet, maybe. And then I have another tree that I'm gonna do my winter theme on. And then I've got a smaller tree that I wanna do, the original tree, I should say, that I want to do the farmhousey type thing. So I've got my pinker and pumpkin ornaments on there that I did last year. And I'm gonna share some pictures and videos of the trees at the end. So I've got everything laid out right now, and then after the video, I'm gonna go and decorate the trees. So I now have 4 trees that I'm decorating with cross stitch ornaments and everything like that. So it's awesome to see the collection grow, and because they're small, they can kind of fit in with what I'm stitching throughout the year. And then Jolly July, I like to stitch, and this year I did only ornaments for Jolly July. And then I started stitching for Christmas mid-October, I think. So I fit in a couple of the ornaments in that time frame too. But really, this has been a year-long project. I did not start finishing them, like fully finishing them, until maybe a month ago. And that was a labor of love. Next year, I think I'm going to try to finish along the way a little bit. Not every single one individually, but at least maybe every few months have a ornament finishing time. I don't know. It was a lot of work to get these ornaments done. And it happened in stages, and like I said, over a month to get them done, because there are 30-ish ornaments here that I have finished this year and that I got fully finished over the last month. So I'm really excited to share those with you. Before we get started, it came to my attention through a picture that I posted on Stitching with the Housewives Facebook page that I don't ever show you guys my bump. So I am 7.5 months pregnant, 30 weeks. And so it just doesn't occur to me to share that with you guys, even though, you know, I share about my pregnancy in my other videos. So I thought I would share a bump update, only because I am wearing my Bump's First Christmas, and there's a little hat down there. So this is the baby bump. So we are 30 weeks along and just cruising right through it. I think because this is my third, it has gone so much faster than my first and even my second, because I've got the 2 younger ones now running around to keep me busy. Anyways, so you can see we are decorated for Christmas as well. The inside is completely decorated. I have a couple Thanksgiving pieces up, but they really don't fit in. But I am keeping them up until December 1st, because they're monthly pieces or whatever. But we do have to get the outside decorated. We were hoping to get that done before it got cold. We are now in the 20s in the morning and maybe the 50s in the afternoon, so not terribly bad. So we're hoping this week to get all of that done as well. All right, so let's just jump into the ornaments. I thought I would start with the first ornament that I did this year. And so my goal, you know, I make these plans and then I fall off the bandwagon. But my goal was to stitch my way through the 2021 just cross stitch ornament magazine. I think I got 3 ornaments done. And so this was just a way for me to work through some different designers that I've never done, do some different ornaments that, you know, I have these magazines and I had stitched from them, but not very many. And there's still a lot in this magazine that I want to do. So I'm trying to decide if I want to keep working through this magazine next year, pick another one to go through. I don't know, we'll see. But I did at least get started and I got a couple of them done. So the first one that I did, and this was my January 1st start, and it was by My Big Toe Designs. And I'm going to show the picture of this one. Most of them I won't show the picture. I don't even have the pattern here with me. I do know the designer, but these ones I don't know because they're designers that don't normally stitch from a magazine. So that is the first one that I did. I thought it was pretty appropriate to start the year off with this one. And here is my finish here. So what I did with this one, I think it's just stitched on a scrap piece of 28 count even weave that I used. And then I used the called for colors, I believe, and I backed it with some white snowflake fabric. And then this is a board. It is from the dollar section of the Target spot, and I think it was a fall piece. And it had some words on here, but it's just like a little cutting board. And it was $1. And I just left it the way that it was, covered up the words, added some ribbon and some holly, and I finished it. And then I did put a little hanger on it so it will go on the tree. So I really like how that one turned out, very elegant, which is kind of what I was going for with this one because it's just really pretty. So that was the first one that I stitched from the magazine. The next one that I did, I started this one in February as part of the, it was with Nap Time Stitcher, and it was to go with the Olympics, so Olympic stitching. And I think the prompt for that day was stitch something that is all one color. So this was Hardanger Country Wreath. Is that what that's called? Oh no, sorry, that is Christmas in My Heart by MTV Designs. I got the wrong number, number 6. And my finish for this one is here. This is an unfinished wood piece that I stitched it on, and I want to say it came from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and it was maybe $1 or $2. And so I just painted it white, and I did do both sides on this one. I didn't paint every piece that I did painting for on both sides, but this one I did. And it is a bigger ornament, but that's just, you know, how it had to go because it's a bigger piece. And I can't remember what I stitched it on, but it's a 32 count even weave. And then it would be in one of my February videos that I mentioned what it was. And then this came actually from a Christmas present last year that I think my mom got me. And it was just wrapped on the present as one of the attachments or whatever to make the gift pretty. And so I just took it off because I knew I could use it as a finishing piece. And so I decided to put it on here, just glue it on. I think the bow even came with it, so I didn't even do the bow. And then my husband, because this piece was an unfinished wood piece, he had to drill a hole for me. And so he did these yesterday. There were 5 of them that needed holes drilled, and he did them after the stitching, which made me a little bit nervous, but he did fantastic. And so that I could have a hanger on it. So just a simple piece of twine for the hanger. So I really like that, how that one turned out too. So that was the second one. And then the third one that I stitched from the magazine is Christmas Polar Bear by Punochka. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly. And it's this little guy here. And again, I don't remember the fabric. I'm sure it's called 4 colors. And I left the tags on most of these so that I could remember where I got them from and I could share them with you, but they will be coming off after the video. So here's my finish for him. So this is a tobacco basket ornament, and this is from Hobby Lobby. And this actually came from the Easter section at Hobby Lobby though. So I've had this one probably since the spring, but it fit perfectly with I think this is Chelsea's checks in the back. And then I just did some simple ribbon and a little, that's a little button, I think, from the Christmas section at Hobby Lobby as well. and it already had the little hanger. I did have to move it because it was very off-centered, so I had to untie it and move it so it would be more centered. But that's that little guy. So I got 3 out of the magazine, and then I got derailed with other things ornaments that I wanted to stitch. That's okay. Like I said, there's still more in here that I want to stitch, so maybe I will pick it back up in the new year with some more ornaments. Okay, so I've got a table full, so I'm just gonna move those out of the way. So for the next ones, I thought I would share the ones that I did for my husband and for my kids. And so each of my kids, I did 3 ornaments, and I have 2 children right now. Number 3 is on the way, so next year I will be doing 3 ornaments for all 3 of them. And I am going to pick out like a baby's first Christmas. Hers might be all 3 babies' first Christmas. We'll see what the year brings, but at least it'll be a baby's first Christmas. And I've started thinking about the other 2, some ornaments that I might want to do, and just kind of put them all in a bag and go through them throughout the year. So the first one though is for my husband. So if you've been following along for a while, or if you're new, my husband built us a deck this year. This has been the year of home improvement, I would say, for us. And so he decided he wanted an outdoor space. We live on a hill, and I mean, it's a hill. There's no outdoor space for the kids to play. Even the front yard, you know, we can't kick a soccer ball because it's too hilly, even in the front yard. So he built a 16 by 24 deck onto the side of our house. So we do have a back deck, but it's like maybe a 10 by 10, and it's also a double. So our house is a split level house, and so it's a double deck. And so it's really high up. There's no stairs down to the backyard or anything like that. So he decided he wanted something that we could enclose and make sure that the kids were safe. So he's got, you know, a pergola, even with like a privacy area in the back. And then the railing is high to where it'll keep the kids safe. And it makes me feel much more comfortable having them play out there rather than this double decker, which is like 3 stories high out our kitchen door. So anyhow, so he built a deck, and like I said, the pergola, he put a fence around our backyard so that the dog can go out and play without having to be on a leash, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. When he's out there, he just goes and he runs, and the kids run after him, and it's been really great to have that space. So that was one thing, and then he's also just been working on the house, to home improvement, things like that. So because of that, I decided I wanted to do an ornament for him, and he also made the comment that he doesn't have a lot of ornaments like I do. I'm doing 3 for each kid this year, but if you watch my last video, my last ornament video, you will see that he has 3 or 4 ornaments that I've made over the years. So he does have ornaments. It's not like he's lacking in the ornament department. Compared to how many I have, that's a fair assessment though. Anyway, so this is the ornament that I did for him. This little bear came from, it is a Leisure Arts book, and it's like 101 Bears with Personality, I think is what it's called. And I have stitched several of these throughout the years. And this guy is Mr. Fix-It is what he is called. So again, I used just a scrap piece of 28 count even weave that I had. And then this is an unfinished ladder piece that I got. And I got it from an Etsy store. I think it's called 24 Hour Crafts. And they do wood pieces. And I've actually got a few of them here that I'll share with you. So I just did a paint stain, so like an acrylic brown stain that I got from Hobby Lobby on this, and I did paint both sides on this one, and I mounted it onto, this is the Primrose Cottage bundle that I got a few months ago, and it is a black check fabric. And then I got these 2 embellishments. They're just paper pieces, and then they have some sticky on them as well from the section in Hobby Lobby that has the paper crafts and like scrapbook section. And then this is ribbon that is from Priscilla's line of ribbon with Fat Quarter Shop. And then again, another twine. I think I'm into the twine for the hangers. Just simple and it works. So that is his little ornament. And I think I used mostly the called for colors. I did change his hat because he is an Auburn fan, and so I made it blue and orange for him. So I really like how that one turned out. And it just commemorates this year of him doing all of these projects for us around the house and the deck for sure. For my daughter, I did 3 ornaments. 2 of them are from, I did bring this one in here, the Vintage Christmas Sampler by Lori Holt. And so I just picked two. I did Santa and the reindeer because she absolutely loves the deer. And then once I picked him, she came and looked at the book as I was stitching, and she said she wanted Santa. So I decided I would stitch both of those for her. I will probably stitch some more little squares from this as ornaments because they're easy, they're cute, and they turn out good. So the first one I will do, this is again from 24 Hour Crafts on Etsy, and I'll link them below. And this is the Santa, and it's on a Santa hat. So I did hand paint this again with acrylic paint, and I did it on both sides to where I had both of them finished. And then I didn't have room with the size on the 24 Hour Crafts. You can pick how many inches you want your piece to be. And with the size that I picked, I didn't have room for any backing fabric. So it's just mounted on sticky board, and then it's got just a simple twine hanger. But it's cute and it works. And she loves it. She keeps asking when she gets to put it on her tree. So we did get their room kind of organized since we moved them, and we're ready to put up their trees. So we will hopefully do that this week with them and get their ornaments on their trees. And the next one is the little reindeer that I did. And so this is how he turned out. And so this is from the dollar store or Dollar Tree. They have a ton of these sleds, or they did. And I actually was watching Java Girl Stitches last night, and she did a little ornament parade as well. And she's finished something on one of these sleds. They had a couple different designs, and I picked several of them up last year. I think I may have picked up a few this year. You can't beat a finishing item for $1.25. And so it does come completely unfinished. So I did paint it. So spray paint and I are not the best friends. So I pretty much hand paint everything that I do. I need to work on my spray painting skills because I think it would go faster. But I painted the sled part red, and then I did the sides white, as you can see. And I did try to do the back. It's not perfect, but it works. And it already came with the hanger, so I just left that on there. And so what I did for him is he has this really cute fabric that I've got that's just got Christmas lights because I thought it matched. And then I decided I had these string of Christmas lights. I can't remember where I got them from. It could have been Walmart or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I just cut them off and I glued them down individually in a fun little pattern. Let's see if I can make that. There we go. You can kind of see it a little bit better. To match the fabric. And then I did just 2 ribbons, and again with the Christmas lights. I thought that was cute, and a little reindeer button in the middle that came from probably Hobby Lobby and one of their little packs. Their packs are fantastic for little finishing items. And I have such a collection of pieces from over the years that I don't need to buy more finishing items. So those are her first 2. Her next one came from Country Cottage Needleworks, and it is just a little ballerina. It's a bigger piece. It's got 6 ballerinas, maybe 7, I think, in a row. But I chose to only do one of them for her. And so I picked the one that kind of looked like her. She's got curly hair. And she started ballet this year for the first time with her cousin. We actually have ballet this afternoon that we'll be going to. And she's got a little Christmas dance that she's going to be doing next Monday that we're excited for, just in their little dance studio. And so she's been enjoying it after the first day. She's enjoying it now. She's got her little Christmas song that she wants me to play all the time. And so I picked this little one. And again, this wood piece is from the 24 Hour Crafts on Etsy. And so I just mounted it on. And so these smaller pieces, it is harder for me for whatever reason to get good looking corners and to make them look really smooth for the really tiny. I've got some other ones that are small. And so I do use batting. I think I only used 1 layer of batting though on all of the ornaments this year, which I don't always do batting, but this year I did. And so I needed something to kind of hide the imperfections a little bit. And so I put some rickrack around it as well. And I thought it worked with the ruffles of the skirt too. So I painted it 2 different colors because I wanted it to kind of match the fact that she's got 2 different colors on her skirt and her dress as well, and her leotard. So I did paint this one both sides too. And then just a pink twine to hang it on. So there she is. So those are the 3 for my daughter. Now the 3 for my son. He is very much into trains, He absolutely loves trains. He gets that from his dad, who also loves trains. And then he has also been playing soccer for 3 years now. So he's 5.5. I think we started him at like 2.5, maybe 3, doing soccer. So almost 3 years. And so those were the themes that I wanted for him for this year. So the first one comes from that same book that I did, my husband's, the Leisure Arts 101 Bears with Personality. And this is the finish for him. Again, this is from 24 Hour Crafts. And so they've got some great finishing pieces. So I just went on there and found things that kind of went with, especially pieces that I couldn't figure out how I wanted to finish them, or I wanted them to be a little bit different. And I hand painted this as well. I did not hand paint the back, because that would have been a lot of hand painting on this one because of the color changes for it. But I was happy with how it turned out. So I used that same fabric that I used for my daughter with the Christmas tree or Christmas lights to back it. And I put it over this window, so there's a little window back here, but I just stuck it on there. And then just a simple piece of twine. So the part that took the most with this one was the painting, because there were some color changes and I had to make sure I outlined things to where it looked good. So he's very excited to put his train on his tree with his little train conductor. Stitched on 28 count fabric that I had in my stash. And I forgot to mention these ones. So the 2 Lori Holt ones, they are on 25 count oatmeal, I think. Lugana. So these are, made them a little bit bigger on the 25 count versus most of my things are on the 28 count that I do. All right, so his next one is another train, and this is the big one. It's really big. I could not figure out how I wanted to finish this one, so I went to Hobby Lobby and found this in the wood section, the unfinished wood section. And so it was $5, but I think I got it at like 40% off. And it already came with the wooden bead hanger. So all I did there was just put a little bow on it. And then I did paint this green to match the tree with some backing fabric. It's on 28 count black Monaco, probably close enough to the called for colors. And then there were supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be Merry and Bright somewhere in here. But instead I decided to shorten it up and I just put his name up there. So I personalized it. And that was fun to get the letters correct. And then I've got 2 bows and just a Christmas tree button that I got. So this one is a bigger ornament that we've got to be careful with where we place it because it's a little bit heavier, but he really likes it too. So I'm happy with how that one turned out as well. Those are his 2 train ornaments. Then this is his soccer. It is by Hines, I don't know how to say it, but it's the part of their Love series. They've got a lot of these little ones, and it is Love Soccer. And so this is the finish here, and this is on one of the 141 Chantel's boards that came in the ornament box that she did this year, the mystery make-along ornament box. So I just, again, hand painted it white. I did not do the back, but I just did the white, and then it was so easy because it's just black and white. It's a soccer ball. So I used Priscilla's Pretty Plaids on the back and then some pretty ribbon that I absolutely love, that ribbon from Hobby Lobby. And then I got the soccer ball. It is a from the scrapbook section in Hobby Lobby. And I just glued it on there. It does have a sticky thing, but it would come off. And then again, the black twine to hang it with. So that is his other one. And we just finished soccer on Saturday. They had to delay the last game because it was raining the weekend before. And so we had what's called a play day. They do 2 back-to-back games, and then they have food and bouncy houses. We got the food, but then we left because being there for about an hour was way too cold with the wind. It was, I mean, we had a noon game, but it was still 40 degrees, and the wind, if the wind would have stopped, it would have been fine. But we were cold. And I think we all kind of came away with runny noses after that, even though we were well dressed. But soccer is done. We think we might do some indoor soccer in January for him because he just loves it. And I know he's going to miss it. And spring soccer doesn't start till March. So that is his ornament. Okay, what should we do next? All right, let's do these ones. I think some of these 3 I may have finished in December last year, but I did not fully finish them for my tree because I was stitching them in December and probably later into December as well. But they are from a Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings. She's got, I don't know, 19 of them somewhere. It's just a very large number. And I can't remember which one these came from. But I stitched them on, 2 of them are on Coffee Tea Dyed Monaco and one is on a red 28 count that I had in my stash. So the first one is Be Merry. And this is on a wooden tag that I got from Michael's, I think. Maybe $1 at Michael's. I just painted it white on both sides. And then the fabric does pretty much cover up most of it for the backer. So just some fabric that I had, and then a red ribbon that I really like, and a wreath to finish it off. And this actually came with the twine as well for that one. So it's a Lizzie Kate, probably called 4 colors. And I stitched it last year, and it's small and cute and goes fast. And so this is another Lizzie Kate, and it is from the same book. These 3 are all from the same book. And it is Merry Christmas. And so this one, it took no time at all to stitch. And then this barn is from Walmart, and it was 98 cents last year. So it's just a wooden little barn. I'm gonna put it on my farmhouse tree that I wanna do. And I've got this fabric, this green snowflake fabric that I put on the back of it. And then it did have a wreath that came with it, but I did not like it. And so I pulled it off and put one of my wreaths on. And I had to cover up where I pulled it off because there was some paint that chipped off, but it covered it up. So one thing that, you know, Job Girl Stitches mentioned as well is you can come up with some really cute finishes. I have a ton of these little ornaments that I've gotten over the years, whether it's from Dollar Tree or Walmart, that they could be great finishing pieces. And so I just have a box that I go through, and that's what I did when I had all my pieces that I was ready to finish. I just went through this box and looked through, okay, what will fit on them, what would, you know, match and look good. And that way I wasn't having to do a ton of work with them. So I was only having to mount them on the board and then come up with the embellishment if I wanted a bow or what I wanted. So it wasn't as overwhelming because I had these backer pieces that I have found. So it pays to kind of have the collection of these ornaments that you can use for finishing pieces. And again, 98 cents at Walmart. And some of these will probably go on clearance after Christmas because they'll probably have some extras. Or $1.25 at, you know, Dollar Tree as well. So you can think of different ways to finish things. It doesn't have to all be the same. Okay, moving right along. This one is Ho Ho Ho. It's from the same book. It is from an ornament that was from Michael's, and it was this one's a $5 ornament. I probably got it at 40% off. And it's just a cute little house, and it came with everything here except for the snowflake on top. I put the snowflake in the middle, but everything else was already there. It probably said something underneath where my piece is mounted. But I used Chelsea's checks in the black, and then again, this is one of those smaller pieces like my daughter's ornament that the corners were really hard to get as tight as I wanted them to be, and so it kind of looked a little bit off. So I did this rickrack that I've got that's just green and red, and it's just a fun design. And I just did a strip on the top and a strip on the bottom to kind of offset it a little bit and give it a little bit more character, I guess. But another fun one, quick one, very quick. And it gives me another cross stitch ornament for my tree. All right, let's see. I've got all of my stitching with the Housewives over here, so we'll do those in just a second. I'm gonna do the ornaments for my kids, teachers. So these are, they were from a Lizzie Kate book. They're sled ornaments. I did 3 of them because my son has 1 teacher and my daughter has 2. And I've done this for the last 3, maybe 4 years for my kids. So I stitch their teachers an ornament, and then I do kind of a theme based off of what the ornament is. So I had like a farmhousey theme one year. Last year was gingerbread. This year is cookies and hot cocoa. And so this is the finish for it. They are stitched on perforated paper. So I did stitch 3 strands of floss on the perforated paper just to give it that fuller look. And this is a sled that came from Hobby Lobby. It is $2.99. I kept the tag on in the unfinished section, but it is in the like the craft section. So they've got the aisles, I think, in the middle of the aisles. They've got all of like the kids crafts and things like that. So that's where these came from. And I picked up 3 of them. I think that's all I have actually. So I think this is all of them. I need to pick up some more because I want to do more of these sleds. I've got tons of the sled ornaments from the, you know, I think they started with the Fox Wood Crossing designers that were out of Dixie Darlin and Pigeon Forge. And then from then I think Lizzie Kate has picked up some, and there have been several other designers that have done sleds as well that are really cute. Okay, so I just lined it or put some ribbon on it. And I did do the 3 of them with different embellishments. So that's a little cupcake. That's one of those little swirl guys. And that's a little gingerbread. So there's the 3 of them. And I did hand stain them with the acrylic stain that I got from Michael's that I did for my husband as well. So that is what they look like. So all 3 of them. My kids are excited to give those to their teachers too. Right. I'm covering some things up. Let's see. Make sure I got everything. All right, I've got 3 that are, we'll do those last, sort of last. All right, let's do the Housewives ones. All right, so this was a whip that I carried over from last year that I did not finish until this year. It is one of the Dapper Doodads, and it's Gingerbread Bakery. It is a little bit of a bigger finish ornament as well. This little picture frame, I think is what it was, came from Dollar Tree as well, so $1.25. It came with the wood beads already. I did kind of have to finagle them a little bit to get them in the middle. I just put a little black check bow on top. And then, so this is the back. So there's like a picture in here because it's a picture frame. So I just covered up the picture frame. I made sure that my fabric would cover all of that up, glued it on. It's Priscilla's Pretty Plaids in the back, the red and the black. I did put a green string on the bottom of Rick Rack. I don't know if I meant to do it on the top too, but I didn't, so I don't know. And then this black twine ribbon that I really like from Hobby Lobby, and then just a little gingerbread button in the middle that was also from Hobby Lobby. It's stitched on 28 count black Monaco with the called for colors. The Dapper Doodads can sometimes be a little bit big to put on a tree. I mean, they're 4x4, right? So that's not that big. But for some reason, when I finish them, they look big. He's still going on the tree because that's how I've got him laid out. But he's just a little bit bigger. All right. This was Believe. It was one that they did last year. And it is on a 28 count even weave, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's from Picture This Plus though. So this is a cutting board that I got from the, it's from Hobby Lobby. It was $4. It was probably from the fall section, I think, this year. And I have a few more of these. And then I'll show you some mini ones that they had as well. So this is just the regular size ones that they have. It's small, but it's not mini, because you'll see the mini one in here in a few minutes. So I just used some red. I mean, it does have some texture to it, just some red backing fabric. And then this one is, I think this one's just from Hobby Lobby, but this is definitely Priscilla's line of ribbon. And then I had these unpainted houses that I have, and they came in a pack of 9. So there's 9 different squares, and then there's like 3 or 4 in each box. I think I got them from Amazon actually, because I was trying to get the houses that Priscilla was using for the Prairie Schooler Merry Christmas that she did, the bigger houses, and I think she got them from Target, but you can get them from Amazon. But I did not check the size of what they were. So when I got them in the mail, this is what came in the mail, unfinished. And I thought, well, that's not gonna work for these. And so they just became finishing embellishments. So I did paint it red because it is unfinished and added it on there. So that is the Believe ornament. I really like how this one turned out. I like the cutting board finish too. All right, moving on, running out of space. This is a Very Merry Christmas. This was a freebie on Priscilla's blog last year. This is finished on a sled. It is from Michael's. So it was a $6 sled from Michael's. It came with all of the embellishments. I just added the candy cane up top to match it too. So it's got the jingle bells already on there. and it was already painted, so I didn't have to do anything of that. It did have some words on it, I think, so just cover those up with a stitching piece. So for this one, all I had to do was put the stitching piece on a piece of board, and then I added the embellishment, and then it was done. And that one was really easy, but still really, really cute. And sleds are totally in for finishing right now. Lots of sled finishes. They're great. And that was on a piece of blue fabric that I had that was just in my stash 28 count as well. All right, so for Jolly July, they did, the Housewives did a series for the crates, Christmas crates series for the ornaments. And so I finished 3 of them. There are 2 more. So there's the last one, which was a gingerbread, and then there was a freebie that was a snowman, I think. I have not done those ones, but hopefully I will, and I will finish them the same way that I did these ones. So the first one that they came out with was Christmas lights. And I did finish these ones essentially in the Priscilla's ornament finishing way. So there are 2 pieces of board that are put together. I didn't do anything on the middle or the 2 pieces together. You can put rickrack or pom-poms. I just left them blank. But I did put the piece up top with the ribbon in between or the twine in between. And then down here I've got a piece of black. It's one of Priscilla's fabrics or ribbons. And then I did a blue rickrack across it just to kind of offset it a little bit. And then more of this really great twine, red twine fabric. And then a little reindeer to go in the middle of it. And he's super cute. So for the back of my ornaments that have fabric, from Ever Emblem is where they are from. Earlier in this year, I had plans to put them on pillows that I finished. I have since learned that my strength is not in pillow finishing right now. When I have more time one day, I would love to be able to learn how to use a sewing machine better. That's not going to prohibit me from sewing when I get in the mood to do a pillow finish or do a project bag. It's just, it's not going to be in the forefront of my mind for finishing. So I had plans on several of these ornaments to be pillow finishes, but as far as just the time that it would take me, because it takes me a lot of time to kind of process how to do it because it's not something that I am really good at right now. I decided for the ornaments that they were just going to be ornament finishes, like not sewed ornaments, like hot glued. I can use hot glue better than I can a sewing machine. So anyways, I got these, these are iron-on pieces from Ever Emblem on Etsy, and I've had them since the beginning of the year with the intention of using them. And because I have not used them yet, I decided I was going to put them on the ornaments that have fabric on the back. I might be able to use double-sided tape maybe to put them on some of the other ones because I do have several left over and 2022 is on there and 2022 is almost over. So I might try to figure out another way to use the other ones, that way they can get used. But this is the first one. The next one was Candy Canes with Mrs. Claus, and I finished her the same way. The only thing different is in the middle I put the double candy cane for her. And these are all stitched on 28 count black Monaco, and the only change in color that I made, I think these were supposed to be Tropical Paradise, and I used Really Tealy for them, I think. And then I did put, the back as well. And then the last one was Hot Cocoa, and he's not super even. I didn't glue him down evenly, but that's okay. With the reindeer, and he's just got the single candy cane in the middle. And I did make a mistake on this one, so this ornament is actually smaller than the other ones. Let's see if I can put them up there together. So you can see he's shorter, because in here, this little mug is supposed to be like 2 stitches taller, because when I was stitching the table, I got off on my count. So it's supposed to be 2 stitches higher, and so I just had to kind of finagle him and make him fit because I had already stitched above the table, and I did not feel like pulling all of that out. So I just made it work. So he's a little bit smaller. But there are, let's see if I can hold them up, the 3 of them together. Cute. I really like those ones. I need to stitch the other ones. All right, and then I think these were the October ornaments that the Housewives did. their vintage Christmas ornament series. They are all finished the same way as well. So I'll just show the first one and then kind of show the slight difference for all of them. So again, I used Priscilla's way of finishing, except for this time I did get the wood beads as hangers, and the wood beads came from Amazon. I don't think I got the ones that Priscilla used because she, the ones that were linked to their Etsy shop, I think were out of stock. And so I ended up finding some other ones, but you can find all kinds of different colors. So I've got one that has a lighter red color to it. But I did stitch all 5 of these, so including the bonus. I don't have these in order of when they came out, but this is the first one that I'm going to show. So I did the same thing, but I did this fabric is from the Primrose Cottage line. And so got my name on the back of them. And then I did do just a strip of, I think that's Priscilla's check fabric. And this is also Priscilla's, their red, I can't remember, striped fabric. And then again, one of those little wooden houses I put in the middle because there's a house. And these are all stitched on 28 count white Monaco with mostly called for colors. That blue is probably really tealy. That's probably the only color that I changed. So that's the first one. The next one is Santa. And this embellishment was just a little stocking that I had, and I can't remember. It was probably one of the packs from Hobby Lobby. That's that one. And then we've got Sweet. And of course, because of the gingerbread, I put a gingerbread in the middle. Love them. And then Mary. And I wasn't sure what to put in the middle of this bow, and so I put a truck with a tree because Santa needs a vehicle as well to pick up the tree for them to decorate. That was my theory. And so these are the lighter red, so I went with the lighter red on these ones. I don't really know why, but I did. I don't know. But the other ones have the dark red beads. And I used the, I didn't use the wire that Priscilla used. I used, oh, what are they called? They've got the fuzzy stuff on them. Oh my gosh, my brain. If it comes to me, I'll let you know. This is the last one. I did a pretty ornament that I got, and I think I got that from Hobby Lobby as well. This was the bonus chart that they did, and it came with one of the last ones of the series. So here is, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all 5 of them in here. Let's see. All 5 together. Woo! So those are all of my stitching with the Housewives ornaments. I've got 3 more here and then some special ones to show. So I'll share. One of them is very, very big. It's probably, it's gonna be like the tree topper, I think. All right, so the first one is by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It's Merry and Bright. It's from on a sign that came from Michael's. It was $6, but I'm sure I got it 40% off. I don't ever buy anything full price when I can. And so it came with everything on it. It had some words like Merry Christmas, I think. And so what I did with this one is I've got the backing fabric. It's on 25 count even weave that I coffee tea dyed. And then it's got 2 layers of rickrack just on the sides because I cut this board too short. So because the word Merry Christmas was written behind it, you can kind of see here, it's not very noticeable, where the rest of the words poked out. So I was trying really hard to cover that up because my board was not wide enough to cover it up. So instead I just used 2 lines of rickrack on the sides. And then it came with all of the embellishments as well as the tag already up there. So again, another pretty easy finish. I just had to figure out how to not have to cut another piece of board because I did not want to cut another piece of board. And then that does cover up the Mary, but that's okay. It's still cute and it jingles. So that's that finish. And yes, this is Heart and Hand Home for the Holidays, one of their mini series pieces. And so here's my finish here. I think I got this idea from Chantel at 1 for 1. The circle piece is an enamel piece that I got from, it's in the ornament section at Hobby Lobby. On the back of it, it says Merry Christmas, but I just glued it down. And it did have this bow already on it, and I kept the bow and put a little reindeer ornament up top. And then I did paint the piece red. I did not paint the back. This backer came from Chantel's box as well, the little ornament. And then and it's stitched on 28 count, or no, 32 count lamb's wool even weave. I do remember now, with my own colors, just whatever I had from stash. Okay, so my next one was supposed to be a pillow finish, but again, like I said, me and pillows, not the best friends. So instead I had to get creative because it's a bigger piece. And this is from Finally a Farm Girl. It is her Santa, her first Santa that she came out with in the beginning of the year that I had to stitch. And so what I came up with is this. And so this is a wreath. It was pre-made at Hobby Lobby. So I just went around Hobby Lobby and was trying to find something that would fit this. And I wasn't necessarily looking to do a circle finish. It just kind of happened that this wreath is what I came up with that was going to work best for it. I couldn't find a square piece that was going to not be super, super heavy. So instead, this is what I came up with. And I think it's just going to maybe sit on the top of the tree because I think it'll be okay up there and not like carry the tree down. We'll see. Anyways, this piece, do I have the tag on here, how much it was? I think it was $9.99, and then I got it for 50% off in the Christmas section. So what I did is I actually did cut 2 pieces of board for the circle, but you can barely see the red board because I didn't cut it big enough, and that's okay. But I decided because it was a circle finish, it does have 2 pieces of batting on here, but it needed something around the edges to kind of help it make it look not as uneven because my circle finishes and cutting are not perfect either. But I think it still works. So I just used some gold cording to go around it. And then I had them meet up in the middle. And then in the middle, I put the bow, and there is a little pin in the center of the bow just to hold it in place. So I actually am really happy with how this one came out, even though it was nowhere near what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a pillow, and I just had to kind of go with my skills and what I had time for and what would work. So this is what I came up with. So I still love him. I want to do Mrs. Claus probably the same way because I want them to match. So I do have Mrs. Claus that hopefully she will get done next year. I think that's everything except for my last one. 2? Okay, 2. All right, so this is a little piece that I designed, and I meant to grab the little inspiration for it. And so I stitched this earlier in the year. For Christmas, we have a lot of displays that have music in them. And one of them is a snowman display that has different snowmen that they all kind of click together, and you push the button and they do different things. So one of them is a snowman with his little friend who is a penguin, and they're sledding. And so I got the inspiration to stitch this little guy based upon this piece that my kids absolutely love. They play the music over and over again. It's a lot, but they love it. And so it's just a little snowman going down a hill with his little friend, his little penguin friend. So for this one, all I did was I mounted him with fabric on the back, and this is just a piece of felt that I cut out. And actually, I could probably put one of my tags on the felt. I bet he would fit. So I should do that. And then I used Rip Rack as the ornament hanger, and then I put these little snowflakes in the corners. And that is how he finished. He's on probably 28 count lamb's wool, I think. I think that's what it looks like I stitched him on. And just with DMC colors that I had. So that was a little guy that was fun. Just a fun little inspiration to remember things that my kids absolutely love. All right, so if you are related to me, you may turn the video off, even though they are going to get this gift next week. Because I did ask, this was a gift for my mom and my sister. And last year, my sister gifted us these sled shelves for Christmas, and they were from the Target Dollar Spot. I think they were like $5 at the Target Dollar Spot. My mom has used hers all year to display different things. I think I'm going to do the same thing. Is just put it in a spot, even though it's a sled, and keep it up and just seasonally decorate things. I guess if I could stitch some of the Housewives pieces in a really small count, they would fit because the sled shelf. The shelves are small. But my sister made the comment that they needed some of my stitching to go on these shelves. And she made that comment last year. So I kind of ran with it and was trying to come up with a theme to make this shelf work within what they were, like a Christmas theme or whatever. And so what I came up with was these snow globes that I have been stitching over, I think I started these in July. And so I've stitched 3 sets of each of them, and there's 3 cross stitch pieces, and then I wanted to find mini snow globes to go with them, which mini snow globes are harder than you think to find that go with the theme that you're looking for. But I did manage to make it work, I think, and I'm excited to share that with you. So I'm going to show the entire piece together because I've got one on display, and then I'll pull it apart and I will show the individual finishes, and hopefully nothing falls down. Here we go. Try to be super careful. So here is the sled. So this is the shelf, so you can see it's not very wide. It's like 2.5 inches wide, I think. And the shelf opening is maybe 3 inches, so I didn't have a lot of room to play with. And actually, I was only going to put one of these mini snow globes on each shelf. I may still do that. But my daughter and I were actually at Dollar General because we needed to pick up some packing boxes. And they had, I think it was this one that they had, this little snowman snow globe. And I'll show the snow globes here in a minute too. The other ones are from Hobby Lobby. And then the 3 stitched pieces. And then this little guy, I will show him as well, is from Target. And it was like a make your own project. So there's the shelf, it'll hang. So it's got a hanger. Try not to drop anything on the back. And my husband already knows where we're gonna put it. And then I'll just put little pieces on it throughout the year to change out with the season. Maybe I'll stitch some more small pieces to add to it as well. So I had asked my mom and my sister, we saw them Friday night for a birthday celebration. And I asked them if they wanted their Christmas present, which all I told them was that you can use it throughout the season. And this is your main Christmas present, so you're gonna get it early. There might be some small things on Christmas morning from us, but this is your main Christmas present. Do you want it early, or do you want to wait and then you'll have to wait till next season to use it? And they both decided that they wanted it early. So my sister and family are out of town visiting family in Colorado this week for Thanksgiving. And so they are gonna be back this weekend, and it's my husband's birthday. Not this weekend, next weekend, after Thanksgiving. So they will get it after Thanksgiving. Probably is when I will wrap it up and give it to them. And I don't think either one of them will see this video before then. But just in case, I had to put the disclaimer out there. Okay, everything's falling now. All right, so for the first one, let's start with this guy. I think he's the first one that I stitched. This is Santa, and I'm sorry for the glare because it is a clear snow globe. And I did use Vanna Pfeiffer's finishing tutorial for this, although I had to make a couple modifications for whatever reason. And so there's the back of it. And so for Vanna's tutorial, she calls for 4 circles for each one that are like the mat board. I think what she uses is like the 4-ply, and I think that's what I used. But when it came to actually finishing them, I could not get them in there. So I cut out the 4, I glued the 3 together, and then, so the 3 were supposed to go with the stitched piece. And then you just put one on the backing fabric. It did not work. It would not go in where I put it. One mistake I did make is I was trying to use both sides of the snow globe that are the same size. And they are just ever so slightly different sizes because one has to fit over the lip of the other one. So when you're measuring, you have to make sure that you're using the right one. And you have to measure each one individually rather than do it the way that I did it, because that got complicated. And so I had a heck of a time trying to fit these in here. And so I ended up ripping them apart and only using one piece of mat board for the fabric and then one for the stitch piece, and put them together. And that worked out much better. So you sandwich them together and then you sew the 2 pieces together, which I did that. And then you have to fit it in here. So you put the snow in and then you have to fit it in. And some of them I overfilled. Where's my overfilled one? With snow. And I'm going to keep that one. The other ones I'm going to give to my mom and my sister. So this guy is overfilled. You can't see the bottom. So don't do what I did and put way too much. And these are 2 different sizes because the stitch pieces were smaller as well. And then I just did the pom-pom trim around them. I didn't need to put a hanger on them because they're not going on the tree. And then the pom-pom trim, you do put the pins in them. And so you just stick the pins in as far as they'll go. And they stay in there to hold it in there. You do use some glue as well. I did not use as much glue when it came to sticking the piece in there because mine were very tight. I don't think these are coming apart anytime soon. I did use some glue, so I'm sure it's helping to keep them together. So those are the 3 Santas, and they're all finished the same way. And then we've got the snowmen. They are all finished the same way, except for their fabric is the white snowflakes that I used for my very first piece. So there's the 3 of them. And I am right now putting them in these little picture frame holders. Put them straight up to hold them in there. And then the last piece was the house snow globe that I did. And these are all from Bent Creek, by the way. They're Bent Creek. The first 2 were flurries, and this was from just a section of the mantle, the snow globe mantle by Bent Creek. And Fat Quarter Shop actually carries the snow globe mantle and the Christmas mantle, and it's like stockings on the mantle. Anyway, so this is the mini board. Where's my other board? I got ornaments everywhere. It's over here. Just so you can see the size difference. So this is a mini one that I picked up at Hobby Lobby as well. And it was $2.99 at 40% off, I'm sure. And I kept the word joy in there because I liked it. And so I just put the piece on there on board and then put it up. No backing fabric needed. So that is, and you could put the finish on this side too, to where you didn't have whatever the word was, but I kept the word on there for them. So there's the 3 of those with all their glorious tags still on. Those will come off. And then this snow globe is from the from the dollar section in Target, but it comes apart, and so you have to put it together. So it comes with the glue and like the different little slots within this wood piece that you stick the tree in, and then you stick the truck in, you let it dry, and then you put the snow in, and then you very carefully put this on there, and you also put this together, the hanger. So you do it all, you put it all together, which is really fun. So it's just a fun little craft to do, and I thought it would go well with my little house. So he's got the truck and the house. And then this is a Santa ornament, or a Santa snow globe that's gonna go with the Santa ornament. And this is from Hobby Lobby. It was one of the very first ones that they came out with this year, so I snagged it. And then this guy is gonna go with the snowman. And so he's from Hobby Lobby, and then my daughter and I, no, wrong one. That one's from Dollar General. This one's from Hobby Lobby. So I picked that one up, and then we found this guy too. So I couldn't decide which one I wanted to give them. So they're gonna get both, and they can decide how they want to display it. So, okay, I definitely thought this was gonna be like a 30-minute video, and here we are, an hour later. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. This was a lot of fun to share my ornaments. I'm gonna go decorate my trees and hopefully add some videos and pictures at the end of this of what they look like, so you can kind of get an idea of how they are decorated and that kind of thing. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving this week in the United States, I hope that you enjoy your Thanksgiving. You're able to get some stitching in, maybe a little shopping. Online shopping is big. I think a lot of them opened up today. So you can go ahead and get early shopping online done, which I've done a little bit of that, and just enjoy the time with your family and friends. If you're not in the United States, I still hope that you have a great week, and whatever you have going on, you're able to get some stitching in. And I will hopefully see you for a regular Flosstube. December 1st is my goal. So hopefully we can make that work and just share the Christmas stitching that I have been up to this point. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.